For the first time, we are at Eldridge Park, the home of the Orleans Firebirds. Hello and welcome into the Scorching start on the Birds Broadcasting Network. I'm your host, Sammy Miller, alongside your broadcasters, Ian Nicholas and Dylan Pescatore. Guys, the Firebirds got it done last night, winning 4-1 over the Harbor Hawks. It was a great game by the Firebirds. Ian, what were your takeaways from last night?
My takeaways were there was a game in the Cape where 11 runs were scored by one team, and tonight there was only 5 runs scored by 2 teams, and it was because Orleans' pitching was just that legit. Daniel Ovidia, 4 innings, shutout, 1 unearned run, 6 strikeouts, and a lethal changeup. And then the bullpen, Riley Fry, and then the 2 Harvard guys, Sean Matson and Chris Clark, who were throwing some serious gas in the mid to mid-90s. It was unbelievable stuff out of those 2. Really impressed out of a bullpen. If you want to shut down an East Division rival tonight in Harwich, you need another strong bullpen performance. 5 quality innings last night.
And we had our first player of the game be named. It was Eddie King Jr. from Louisville. He came in off the bench in the 9th inning, had an amazing at-bat with 2 strikes. What did you think from his performance?
I think it's so hard to come off the bench in this league and in any baseball game, period. But Eddie was ready to go. And he cued a ball right past the mound, hustled to first to beat the throw. Then he takes third on the broken bat single by Farrow, draws the overthrow, which allows him to score. Farrow gets to third, and then eventually a Jack Penny sac fly put Orleans up 4-1, which gave them a little bit of breathing room when it went to the bottom of the 9th. So Eddie, very, very good play from him and very deserved for the player of the game.
I'm very excited to see what he does today. And speaking of today, we have Cam Leiter on the mound starting things off for the Firebirds. Ian, what can we expect from him?
A lot of heat. It's 75 degrees. We're already sweating in the pregame, and Cam is going to keep Harwich sweating all night long. He told us a few days ago that fastball gets up to 97 miles an hour. He has the opportunity to go to the major leagues in a couple of years, and a lot of scouts are going to be watching tonight, transferring from UCF to FSU. How legit is he? How legit is he? I mean, he had, in his final 8 appearances at FSU, a 2.6 ERA and over 80 strikeouts on the year. He has to dial it up tonight.
And Kelly Nicholson told us last night that we'd be seeing a lot of new faces today. So, Dylan, can you break down a few of these players for us?
Yeah, so Kelly wants to use his whole roster, and that's totally great, and I think that's going to be great for the team. Everyone gets a little action. We got 3 completely new names who haven't gotten in any play yet in the starting lineup today. Andy Blake, coming off a great year in the Ivy League at Columbia. He is the Ivy League Player of the Year in the 2022-2023 season. Then you go to the catching position from UAB. It's Henry Hunter. He does the catching today, and then Drew Metzor from UMass Boston is also in the lineup today. So 3 new names for the Firebirds, but in reality, everyone's going to get some time on the field, and hopefully another win today for the Birds.
So now that we know the Birds to watch out for, let's talk about the Mariners. Ian, what should we be looking out for with this Mariners squad?
You should be looking out for a team that hits for power. Last night, only 5 hits for Harwich in their win over East Division rival YD. Sammy, guess how many were for doubles? Just guess.
How many?
4.
Oh, 4.
That's a lot. And if they have more tonight, then more doubles should be expected. So Cam Leiter does throw a lot of good stuff in the middle of the zone, but he has to make sure he doesn't leave it right down the middle because these guys can drive it deep into the outfield.
And now it's time for the keys to the game. Dylan, what's your key?
You got to keep traffic on the bases. The Firebirds had great base running yesterday, 2 or more stolen bases. I know Trimble got one, as well as Jones. He brings a lot of speed to the team. So use that speed for their advantage, get on base, and put a little sweat in the Harwich uniforms.
Ian, how about you? What's your key to the game?
The number 6, Danny Ovidia. He had 6 Ks last night. Cam Leiter's going to have to at least match it, if not a few more, if they want to shut down Harwich early and then allow your bullpen to take over in a good situation. Don't make them come in early and have to do too much. Cam Leiter's got to have at least 6 strikeouts and have a great day on the bump.
I'm excited to see what the Firebirds do today in their home opener. And coming up next is our Writers Report.
All right, let's go to war, boys.
You guys keep it out. We're back on Scorching Start on the Birds Broadcast Network with the birthday boy, our writer, Brendan Nordstrom, with another edition of the Writers Report. Brendan, the big 2-0, how does it feel?
Feels good. It's weird not to be a teenager anymore. I don't know.
Do you feel washed up?
A little bit. More mature.
More mature, more wise, the perfect perspective to talk about a very experienced Firebirds team, which got the win last night against Hyannis. Brendan, let's start with a bit of a down note, though. Aiden Longwell, the star out of Kent State first baseman, went down with a bit of an injury early in that game. You got an update for us?
Yeah, I mean, you hate to see anyone go down, especially top of the first inning the way he did. He was rounding first, stepped on the first baseman's foot, rolled his ankle, and was down for a little bit. He's able to get off the field and talk to coach after the game. It said it was day to day. Looks like he should be okay to come back soon, and hopefully sooner rather than later.
He might play tonight, who knows, but he's not starting. His replacement was Jake Hyde, the man out of Georgetown, and Brendan, he looked fantastic. He was able to bring in the first few runs of a Firebirds season early on in that game against Hyannis.
You know, Jake Hyde told me yesterday he didn't know whether or not he was going to come into the game. Top of the first inning, he steps up, and he goes in the game. First at bat, he drives in 2 RBIs, and those would be the winning runs in the end of the day.
At the end of the day, Jake Hyde got it done, and that's why the Hoya is starting again tonight for Coach Kelly Nicholson. Also starting for Coach Nicholson on opening day here from Eldridge Park, Cam Leiter. The guy throws heat, and he's got a pretty familiar name, Brendan.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's looking forward to Cam Leiter Day. It's like a holiday around here. Even Coach Kelly was saying, I just can't wait to see him pitch. And I can't wait either. Obviously, you mentioned the family. It comes from big line of baseball players, and he throws gas, like you said. 80 Ks, led Central Florida last year, and just can't wait to see what he's made of.
Can't wait to see what he's made of. Headed to Florida State next year. His head coach, Link Jarrett, in the park, but our birthday boy, Brendan Nordstrom. He's always here on the Writer Report. Brendan, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
Can't wait to have his cupcake. We'll be back soon.
Hey, set the tone, boys.
Yesterday was opening day, and today is the home opener at Eldridge Park. I'm here with Kelly Nicholson. Kelly, how amazing is it to be back at Eldridge?
Well, it's great to be home. It seems like we were just here yesterday. Time goes so fast. So it's great to be back. We have a really beautiful day today, a nice early start. I think we're going to have a good crowd based on the chairs and the blankets out. So it's going to be fun. Stevie's a good friend of mine at Harwich. They always have a good team, so it should be a good game tonight.
And speaking of the Hill, fans love to fill the Hill. How incredible is it to have such a strong fan base?
Yeah, it's great. I think we probably have as good a fan base as anybody in the league, Sammy. I think when it's all said and done, we're probably going to average about 2,500 a night, which is pretty good for the Cape League, all in all. So yeah, they're the best, man. We love our fans here.
And you always want to start out a season with a win, and you guys did that last night against the Harbor Hawks. What are your big takeaways from last night's win?
Well, we pitched really well. We pitched really well, and it starts with pitching. Daniel threw the ball extremely well. Gave us 4 solid innings. Riley Fry came in and gave us 2 solid innings. Mattson was very good, and Chris Clark was Chris Clark. So anytime you can allow 1 run unearned, you have a chance to be successful, and we did that last night.
And last night, Eddie King got the player of the game. He was tremendous, coming off the bench in the 9th inning. What did you see from him?
We just really competed last night. It was 2 strikes. He kept fouling pitches off and fouling pitches off and fouling pitches off, and then just hit a little cue shot, but with his speed, put some heat on the defense. He threw it away, and next thing you know, we get a base hit, and Eddie's going to Eddie's going to third, and they throw the ball away because of his speed. We get a guy on, the batter runner goes to third base, and we get a nice sac fly from Jack Penny. So Jake Hyde did a nice job too last night, competing at the plate. Had a 2-strike, 2-out at bat that led to 2 runs. So it was a tough choice for me. It was either going to be Jake or Eddie, but Eddie got it last night.
And speaking of today's game, you have Cam Leiter starting for you on the mound. What should fans be expecting from Cam?
He's a lighter. He can pitch. It doesn't matter if you're Al or Jack or Mark Jr. or Cam. If your last name's Leiter, those guys can pitch. So it should be mid 90s tonight with a good curveball, and Cam threw the ball really well at the end of the season for UCF. So I'm looking forward to watching him pitch for us tonight instead of UCF.
Well, thank you so much. Good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you, Sammy.
I am now joined alongside Kent State outfielder Jake Casey. Jake, how does it feel to be at Eldridge Park for the first time this season?
Feels great. I heard there's going to be a really big crowd tonight, so we're all looking forward to that, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
And how has the last few days been on the Cape for you?
It's been really, really fun. All the guys are really cool. I think we got a really good team going here, so, just really excited for the rest of the summer.
And of course, every single team wants to get that first win on opening day. You guys did that last night. So what was the vibe like last night after the win with you guys?
Just good vibes. Everyone did their part. Just whoever came in. Some guys came off the bench and played well. Guys really pitched really well. So I don't know. We're going to build off that. Game 1. And
is there any expectations you have for yourself, the team for this season?
Just get better. Go back to Kent State, a better player, a better person, and help my team win a championship.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Well, that'll do it for this edition of the Scorching Start on the Birds Broadcasting Network. Make sure you tune in at 5 o'clock when the Orleans Firebirds take on the Harwich Mariners.